Aviation, what is going on? And welcome to a video, a podcast, an Instagram Reel series. I'm not entirely sure what this is all going to turn out to be or what it's going to look like, but this has been a highly requested video, a highly requested subject, and just have had a lot of questions. So there are probably going to be multiple questions, multiple videos about this, and I might even open up a question box somewhere up here or post an Instagram video with a question box that if you want an answer, if you want a question answered, you can leave it there, and I'll do my best to make a video about it and answer it because, well, I am sitting short call reserve and I have a ton of time on my hands. So why not make some content about it? But I wanted to start out and say that any of these videos that I do make, any of these videos that come from this series, there's no negative bashing of my previous company. I enjoyed working there. I could have seen myself work there for my whole career. There's nothing against that. And if you want to go there, if you are there, if you're working up in management at that previous job and you're watching this is not a slander video on your company, on you. You run a great company, have a great job, great opportunities there. And if that's what you want to do, I highly recommend you go fly there. Working at a fractional gets no better than where I was. It wasn't necessarily anything that they did that made me want to move, want to leave. It was just, I thought that I might be able to have a better life at a different job for what I needed. What you need can change. My whole career, you've kind of seen it from the beginning. When I first started posting, I was flying in the Pilatus and all I wanted to do was 135, 91K. And I kind of kept going that way. And eventually, after we had our kid, I started realizing maybe my priorities needed to be changing. And I started realizing what I wanted wasn't lining up with where I was. And that was on me. I didn't want to be super negative 24/7, which I kind of found myself going down that route with my last job with frustrations of seeing my friends at 121s kind of living an easier and better life than me and making more money. So I was just kind of thinking, I can't live in this negative space. I can't live in the thought process of like, one, either wishing that I was doing what they were doing, or two, just being super down on the situation of where I was. So I decided it was either now or never. I decided that it was either just be okay with where you are and accept the fact that maybe you're not going to make as much money as them. Maybe you're going to fly more legs. Maybe you're going to work a little bit harder, but you still have a good job, and you still have a job that's going to take care of you. That's going to put your family in the position that they need to be in to succeed, to thrive. And you're still going to have a good retirement at the end of your career. And I would retire number two there. There's one person, you know who you are, and you're probably watching this, that was junior to me, or no, that was senior to me and younger than me. Only one person in that company. So I stayed all the way up until age 70, which is the retirement age now. So hint, hint. I would have been number two, which is pretty cool to say, you know, maybe he would have left early. I could be number one, but that won't happen where I am today. But, I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, I want to get into this quick video. This quick video is 5 reasons why I left my job to come here. I'll put them up right here, and we'll kind of go line by line. But number 1 is schedule flexibility. Airline schedule flexibility, it's hard to beat. And it's something I didn't know was important until we had our kid, until I realized in 10, 15 years, it's going to be pretty difficult for me to consistently get off the days that I want, whether it's for football games, soccer games, events. Bidding was not the same at my last job as it is here. Now, this is all seniority based, and everything I say could change if they never hire again and I'm stuck at the bottom and I'll be an FO for the rest of my life. But we're not going to live in that world because we just hope that doesn't happen. But in the 121 world, you can bid for the schedule you want. You can bid for what you want to work. You can drop, you can trade, you can do a ton of stuff. And it's different for every airline. Some people think this airline's better. Some people think that airline's better. It's not a mix and match, and it's not trying to decipher between the airline I'm at now, but it's just having the possibility to do that without taking PTO days, sick days, which you only use if you're sick. If current company's watching this, I would never do that. But you don't have to get creative as you would in the last job. Moving your 7-7 line around, trying to get it to work out it just gets way more complicated. So schedule flexibility here in the 121 world is huge. All right, and then number 2 is going to be just overall work days. Now, at the last job, I worked 7 on, 7 off, which was great, but those 7 days, they worked you, especially in the latitude. It was 3 legs, 5 legs. Didn't really fly six too much. Maybe once where you're stuck in the Northeast and you're just doing the Northeast tops. That wasn't very common, but it did happen. The Latitude itself was a workhorse. That plane just went wild. If you expected to have an easy day, it definitely changed by the time you landed after your first flight. So the Latitude worked hard. They worked you hard. In their perfect world, they would work you 14 hours on, give you 10 hours off if they could. Now, it really worked out to be about 12 hours on every single day with probably about 11 to 12, maybe 13 hours off every single night. Over a 7-day period, that gets pretty tough. You can do that for a day. You can do that for 2 days, even 3 days. But after a while, it kind of got to me. And I saw on Instagram, I saw on YouTube, I talked to my friends and I saw them flying 1 leg being done, 2 legs being done. I was like, dang, that's an easier way to work. And someone a long time ago told me, work smarter, not harder. And that kind of hit me a couple years ago. And I kind of opened up to maybe 121 World is something I should consider. Number three is flying big airplanes. Now, I've never been one to really harp on the idea of flying big airplanes or flying new airplanes, chasing type ratings, doing everything and going after that. But my dream has always been, as my last job, was to fly the Global or Gulfstream if they got them. Fly the biggest airplane I could be at that company. It was never, I have to fly the 787. I have to fly the 350. But I started to realize and put together that my timeline of being a captain on those bigger airplanes, it might actually be quicker in the 121 world than it was at my former job. The pay difference between the two, 121 on the captain side, was just astronomically better than what it would have been on 91K, 135, 91 side. So I figured if I'm waiting the same amount of time, I might as well go to the airline side and eventually make more money. And the kicker to that is when you're flying those bigger airplanes, on the 121 side, it's usually 1 leg. Now, it might be a long leg, it might be 18 hours, but you're flying 1 leg and then you get 24, 36 hours off. Where last job, you'd fly a leg, maybe you get 12 hours off, and then you're hopping around Europe in a Gulfstream and a Global doing normal trips. So those are some of the reasons. Let's see. Number 4 is having more time off. I kind of hinted at it in the last part. It was not just consistently having 14 hours or less off on every single trip. And that's not as big of a deal when you're only gone for 3 days or for 4 days. But a 7-day stretch, it's nice to have 18 hours off in the middle of that. Current 121 job, you have the opportunity to either bid for certain layovers, you have the opportunity to bid for an extended layover, you have the opportunity to bid for 20 hours plus off. Now, what would I do with 20 hours off? I have no idea. I'd probably go crazy and wish that I only had 14 hours off. But having the opportunity to do that and say maybe 1 month you're getting your butt kicked and the next month you're like, all right, I need to slow down a little bit. Let's bid the 3-day with a 24-hour overnight here. Or even if you're on reserve, you could see, hey, you could pick between a couple trips and hope that your seniority can hold that and be like, hey, I want the one with the longer overnights. So you have the opportunity to kind of make the schedule how your seniority, 1, can hold it, and 2, how you want it to be. Let's see. So having more time off, I became a pilot because I wanted to see the world, not just see the world in a Hilton Garden Inn. And I understand the irony of me saying this in a hotel right now, looking out a window at a bunch of trees, but it will get better, like we said. And last but not least is one that's kind of ironic because I used to enjoy this part, but knowing where I am going. Every single day, it almost felt like I had 5 schedule changes on a good day, upwards of 10 plus some days. And it's fun at first, right? It's fun being like, oh, cool, I was going to Bermuda, but now I'm going to some random place in Arkansas for the night and staying at a really bad hotel. But it got to the point where I just wanted to know where I was going. And yes, you can have schedule changes. Yes, you can have reroutes. Yes, you can think you're going one place and go somewhere else in the airlines too, but it doesn't happen 10, 15 times a day, which was rare at the last job. No bashing. was rare, but it did happen. You thought you'd end up here, and by the time you land after your second leg, you have 10 more changes. But here, there is more of a possibility, and it's a greater chance for you to go where you know you're going, and you can make a little bit more plans. If I want to do a podcast in a hotel room, if I want to make videos like this, then I have the opportunity to do that. So those are the 5 reasons why. I can go more in depth those on a podcast if you want. Just let me know, and we can talk about that. I plan on doing more videos like this to kind of let you know what's going on and the thought process. So leave me a note, send me a DM, leave a comment below. If this video one helped you, or if you thought it was stupid, let me know that too, and I'll just stop altogether. I won't stop, but let me know, and we'll make some more. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll probably make another one in the next 5 minutes. You'll probably see me in the next video in the same spot, in the same hotel room, because like I said, short call reserved, living the dream. But I hope you guys have a great day, and as always, happy flying.